Hello, this is a continuation of processing 9mm brass. The last one, I think we put the brass in the tumbler, the Harbor Freight tumbler. So this is what I do after it tumbles. Equipment I'm going to use, I use a little parts magnet. I think this was like $5. It's really small. I got it because of the size. It's very small and very inexpensive. You'll need a strainer. I got this from, I think, thrift shop for like $1. I think it's $1.51. Little bucket. This one fits it perfect. So you'll need a bucket and a strainer. Old towel or t-shirt just to dry the surface of the brass off. And I use an old pizza pan. You can see it's kind of rusted up, but I put it in the oven on a low setting, and it's actually got some pins on it. Some got left over from the last one, so you can kind of see the pin stuck to that. So we'll get those off. We'll probably have some more left over after this one. And then, of course, after they come out of the oven, I'll let them dry on that pan, and then I'll just put them in a little coffee container. And I don't label my outside because I may use the container for something else, or and I hate to have a label. I just kind of put what's on there. So this says sized and wet tumble, so I know what stage of the process it's in. So we'll get started. I think this one's the 9. I had some 300 black out in that other one. So I just pop the lid off. I take the little washer and I use it to kind of break the seal. On this, set those to the side. Yeah, y'all can see that. And then I'm gently prying this lid off. You have to be real careful with these Harbor Freight tumblers. They're not built exceptionally well. And I just use cold water to rinse. Once I rinse that lid, pop it back in there. It's probably not a good idea to handle your fasteners over the sink. Normally I don't do that. And then from here you'll get some little brass shavings up there, and you have to watch the edges because you'll have a little bit of pins piled up on those sometimes. So I look for edge without pins. Kind of go around and get some of the suds off. And you can see those were extremely dirty. And this was the 9. So I kind of give it a little bit of a pre-rinse. And I don't know if you can see that water very well, but it's kind of murky. So from there, that's when I take my bucket. I'll just dump them out. And then I'll rinse my container a little bit. It almost looks like a little gold dust at the bottom of it. You'd think I was tumbling rocks in these, huh? Alright, so I get the container pre-rinsed. And then from here, this is actually how I get the pins out. Everybody asks, how do you get the pins out? Well, basically I'm vibrating them out, and sometimes you will have some that will stay in there. You just get them out during the rest of the process, when you go into sorting or trimming and all that good stuff. So give it a little rinse. I just kind of agitate them. I'm turning them because they tend to stand up because of the case head. So when they get filled up with pins, kind of like that one, it's kind of hard to get them to tip over to get them out. And then every once in a while you'll get some that, well, those fell out in the primer pocket where they came out. So you can kind of see how full. think you can see that, how full they actually get. So they fill up. And it cleans them very well. So I'll agitate. Of course, this is the part everybody hates in the house when I'm doing it. It's extremely loud. Well, if you see any, I just kind of dump them out. Okay, that looks pretty good. Then from there, I'm gonna kind of dry them off a little bit. Make sure I didn't move the camera. Slide the camera back a little bit. So I'm gonna kind of dry them off. And you can put them in an old, there was some pins that fell out. You can put them in an old t-shirt, you can put them in an old towel. You're just kind of getting the water off the surface so you don't have water spots. And I did have some pins that stayed behind. And that's where the little tool magnet or parts magnet pickup tool works great. And I'll take these and lay them on the tray. And it helps to have a tray that's got an edge to it so they don't roll off. But, you know, this was an old tray that warped up and started to rust. And I think we got one of those stone pizza trays now. So this was going to go in the trash. So I salvaged it and took advantage of it. So I didn't have to buy this. And this will help get some of the pins out too. But a towel works better, but I've actually got another batch of brass laid on that towel right now, so we can't get it. So sometimes you gotta work with what you got, right? The oven, when I place them in the oven, I set it on a low temperature. Mine will go down to 150 and then it says warm underneath it. So I generally hit that warm setting so I know it's not too hot. We don't have to worry about this brass getting annealed. I'm not sure how much it would hurt, but I guess if it got too soft, we could have problems with a case rupture. Or it would stretch out abnormally long after a firing. Just about lost them all. Okay, so that got a batch of probably a couple of hundred. Then from here, I'm gonna rinse my bucket out. You can kind of see how dirty that is, and it's already been rinsed once. Okay. All right, now I'm going to retrieve the pins and put them back in the container. And I just use the tool for that. That way it minimizes the amount of water that gets trapped in here, so we won't have that to worry about. And I just let the pins dry in this container here, this tumbler. These are about 2 to 2.5 pounds worth of pins. I'm sure I've lost some over the 2 or 3 years or however long I've been using this. I can't even remember how long I've been using it. It's worked good though. That's all the pins, and you can rinse your bucket out, but I've got another thing of blackout I've got to do. So I'll leave it in the oven probably about, I don't know, about 20 minutes, 20-30 minutes. I've never really timed it. I just go by and look, and how I tell if they're dry or not is I'll kind of spread them out on the tin. And then I'll pick one out and I'll look for the flash hole. The flash hole, that's the last place water's going to be, is that flash hole. So I'll look at that flash hole and make sure there's no water in, 2 or 3 of them. If it's not, I pull them out. I'll let them come to cool down. Usually I let them sit overnight because you don't want to put a primer in after they're straight out of the oven. They'll kind of be too hot to handle, and plus you don't want to get it mixed up in anything that's explosive while it's warm. I'm not sure what the point of explosion on a primer would be from heat, but I'm not going to chance that. So anyway, I throw those in the oven for 20 or 30 minutes, and then after that let them sit overnight, and then I put them in my container and label them with that sheet of paper on the inside saying this is where they're at, and then from there we'll go to trimming and all that good stuff. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and look forward to the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great day.